Sam, just looking ahead to Altrincham this weekend, we come up against a side that, I mean, they sit 20th in the table at the minute, but can it be dangerous to look too much into that?
Oh, 100%. I think the talk that we had with the boys this morning certainly was one of not to let any complacency sit in for tomorrow. I know we had a fantastic performance in the week on Wednesday, but Altrincham are a side actually that we've looked at in depth, and certainly their XG and possession stats certainly show that they should be sitting a lot higher in the table, and I think the position that they're sitting in the table as it stands is relatively false. I think they've been very unfortunate in certain games. I think Phil Parkinson has assembled a really decent squad, and you look at individually their players that they've got, pound for pound, really competitive in this division without a doubt. They've added in the week with midfielder Jack Hinchy, who we're a big fan of. So tomorrow's going to be really tough, and the boys know that. We had to bring them down to earth a little bit after Wednesday, but certainly prepared well, and the boys I thought trained excellently today.
As you mentioned, Wednesday, you've had a bit longer to reflect on that now. Is that sort of a benchmark performance now for you?
Yeah, certainly. You've got to enjoy those ones, especially when the game plan comes off to a tee and the boys apply themselves to the way they did. I thought they were fantastic, and that's got to be the standard. And we've always said from day one we're trying to build a side that's competitive in this division, and consistency is key within that. So if we can emulate those type of performances, then I'm pretty sure that we'll be okay.
And with the Wednesday game, there's less preparation going into the weekend, but how pleased were you with training this morning?
Very pleased, and I think you just alluded to it there. I think it's hard in a part-time environment to deal with a 2-game working week. I think people on the outside probably don't understand the difficulties and challenges that being in a part-time environment can hold, especially when it's a Wednesday midweek game. There was a lot of tired bodies that we've had to nurse through, and the medical team have been fantastic. Georgie, Luke and Zach, they've all been great in trying to keep everybody as fit as possible, and everybody trained really well today, and one thing that I'm massive on is energy and building a positive environment, and today they had that in abundance. The music was on, the boys were lively, really competitive as well, and the tactical was good too.
A lot was sort of made at the beginning of the season that the squad was, there wasn't many players signed early on, and it all came in quite late, but despite all that, what have you made of the start that you've made so far? Yeah,
I think if you said to us at the start of the season that our points return would be 18 points after 12 games, and assembling a competitive squad, an exciting squad that are able to adapt and cope with the demands of the physical side of things, but not only that, the tactical side of things and our style of play which we've implemented. So I think we probably would have taken that at the start of the season. I think in the midst of the emotion of game to game, you can get a little bit greedy at times, and I think if we're honest with ourselves internally and externally, we probably should have had more points on the board, but perhaps we're being a little bit greedy to where we are. But I've certainly got my own ambition along with the boys, along with the staff, and what we feel we can achieve, but certainly we are punching above our weight as it stands, and the boys are doing exceedingly well. And we just have to keep going the way we're going, slowly go about our business, and we work relentlessly on all aspects of our game, whether it be the physical or injury prevention or the tactical side of things. We're really doing our due diligence with the resources we've been given, so we keep going, keep improving, keep working.
And just lastly, how important will a good sort of home turnout be as we look to continue our momentum on Saturday?
Yeah, it's the same again. We need as much support as possible. It sounds a bit cliche, but they are our 12th man, and they have been and always will be. And if we can keep getting behind these lads and keep building a consistency and get a run of games together, then we'll be looking up towards the table, and that's what I want. I want to be looking up that way, and rather than worrying about what's behind us and what's behind our shoulder, we have to keep striving, going about our business, and keep rallying behind these boys, because the support is so important from those fantastic Wealdstone fans.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Sam.